let's talk about Maheshwara, or Lord Shiva. But we're not going to talk about some distant, abstract god. No, today we are going to uncover a cosmic secret that's actually hidden in your daily routine. It's a profound force you tap into every single time you wake up, get through your day, and fall asleep. So when you think of Shiva, what's the first word that pops into your head? For so many of us, it's destroyer. And honestly, that one single label has created a massive misconception, painting this picture of a scary deity who's only focused on endings. But what if that's missing the point entirely? You see, the real key to understanding all of this comes down to one word, laya, which means dissolution. Now, the common mistake is thinking laya means destruction in a bad way, like death. But that view is so narrow, and it hides a much deeper, way more life-affirming truth. So let's just flip this whole thing on its head. Forget about cosmic apocalypses for a second. What if this so-called destruction is actually a process of deep rest and rejuvenation? A process so vital you literally can't live without it. And the answer, believe it or not, is found in the one thing we all do every day: sleep. Yeah, that's right. This is where this huge cosmic idea of dissolution becomes incredibly personal and, well, surprisingly simple. So let's redefine laya. It's not an ending. Think of it more like a cosmic recharge. It's that peaceful moment when you return to the source where all your energy gets restored. It's not something to be afraid of. It's something your body and mind are literally begging for every single night. This whole nightly recharge process is actually called short-term dissolution, and it happens in a few stages. First, all the energy that powers your senses, it kind of pulls back and centers itself in your mind. Then, in the absolute deepest part of your sleep, your mind itself just merges back into its source, the self, or Atma. It's the ultimate power down, letting your whole system get a complete reboot. And this just explains it perfectly, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. After a really good, deep sleep, you never wake up and say, wow, that was so stressful and sad. You say, I slept so peacefully. And why is that? It's because for a few hours, all that constant chatter in your head was just gone. It had dissolved. That peace you feel is the experience of laya. It's pure bliss. Okay, so let's zoom out a little. This nightly dissolution thing, it's not just some random event. It's actually Act 3 of a 3-act play that makes up your entire day. And this is where it gets really, really cool. Your typical 24-hour day is a perfect mini version of the entire cosmic cycle. When you wake up, that very first thought that just appears out of nowhere, boom, that's creation, or shrishti. Then, as you go about your day, making choices, doing your work, just keeping your life going, that's preservation, or sthiti. And finally, when you surrender to sleep, that's dissolution, laya. You live this whole epic cycle every single day. And the best part is, we can actually take part in this cosmic dance on purpose. In the morning, you can align with creation, the energy of Brahma, by just noticing your first thought without judging it. Throughout the day, you embody preservation, Vishnu's energy, by just being conscious of your actions. And at night, you honor dissolution, the peace of Shiva, by totally surrendering to sleep. And here's the really beautiful part. When you live just one day with this awareness, you are actually performing what's known as Maheshwara Archana. You're turning your totally normal everyday routine into a profound act of worship, honoring the entire cosmic flow of creation, preservation, and dissolution. But there's always a but, right? There's one major thing that stops us from seeing and living this truth: the ego. And to really get this, let's look at this powerful cautionary tale about a great sage whose pride led to an epic fail. So the story starts with the great sage Narada. After this really long, tough meditation, he finally reaches this incredible state of focus, and he comes out with this one triumphant thought. He goes straight to Lord Shiva and proudly announces, "I did it! I have conquered desire!" Now Shiva, he just smiles and congratulates him. But then he gives him one very specific, very cryptic piece of advice. He says, "That's fantastic, Narada. I'm so happy for you. Just do me one favor. Whatever you do, do not mention this to Vishnu." This is a huge piece of foreshadowing right here. So what do you think Narada does? Of course, his ego is just soaring, so he immediately ignores the warning. He goes right to Vishnu and starts boasting. And that's when Maya, the divine illusion, kicks in. A little later, Narada falls for a princess and asks Vishnu to give him his divine form, the form of Hari, to help him win her over. Vishnu says yes, but with a hilarious, clever twist. The word Hari can mean Lord Vishnu, but it can also mean monkey. So Vishnu gives Narada his divine body with the head of a monkey. Narada is so full of himself, he doesn't even notice. He walks into the princess's ceremony, totally confident he's going to win. Well, when she rejects him and everyone sees his monkey face, he is completely humiliated. His pride instantly turns into rage, and in that anger, he curses Vishnu, the very person he asked for help. This one act of pure ego-driven anger sets a whole new epic story into motion. And that, right there, is the core lesson. The second Narada said, "I conquered desire," he fell right into the trap of illusion. He took personal credit for something that was actually an act of divine grace. The whole shift in perspective is moving from "I did this" to realizing it was accomplished through me. So how do we avoid Narada's trap and actually embrace this cosmic cycle? Well, it all comes down to a really simple daily practice. Let's bring it all home. Here it is, your daily worship, your Maheshwara Archana. First, wake with intention. Instead of reaching for your phone, just make your first conscious thought one of gratitude, something divine. Second, navigate your day with awareness. When you accomplish something great, just mentally say thanks, acknowledging it happened through grace, not just you. And finally, end in surrender. Consciously let go of all the day's worries and wins and just trust that rejuvenating power of dissolution as you fall asleep.
You know, this isn't just about mythology or some ancient philosophy. What we've really unpacked here today is a practical blueprint for living. It's a way to transform the cycle of waking, working, and sleeping from just a boring routine into a sacred, conscious practice.
So the final thought is this. Creation, preservation, and dissolution aren't just giant cosmic events happening way out there. They're happening inside you and through you, every single moment of every day. The cycle is already playing out. The only real question left is, will you start paying attention?